This morning is unfortunately the day of reckoning, and now we're about to go and find out what the crack is. And I'm nervous. We thought we had the bad news, but there's worse news.
Sad times.
Welcome back to the channel. We're Janine and Liam Day, a married couple who have been doing full-time van life for almost 2 years in the UK. The winter got off to a good start for us as we visited the incredible city of Bath and experienced one of the best Christmas markets the UK has to offer. But as we were venturing onto our next destination in Gloucestershire, an engine light popped up on our dashboard, and before long our removals truck camper van conversion came to a stop in the middle of the road, dripping out oil from underneath. It was there in the freezing winter fog that evening that we stayed waiting for the police and tow truck to come and collect us and our van. We eventually got towed to a garage that would be open the next morning and awaited to hear what they think was up with the engine. It was then that we got the worst possible news we could have hoped to hear. It couldn't be fixed and we needed a new engine. We couldn't believe it. Being this close to Christmas, it was the worst news any vehicle owner wants to hear, but this is also our Tony home on wheels. Today we are waiting apprehensively to find out how much our van is going to cost to be repaired and how long it might take.
So, good morning. This morning is unfortunately the day of reckoning. We've had a bit of time, a couple of days. The garage is a very busy garage where we don't know what's going on. Well, we do know what's going on. We know we need a new engine and new auxiliary parts. Basically, anything that's not the shell of the van and the back of the van all needs replacing. So, you know, as we mentioned in the last video, it's pretty much the worst case scenario for any of it. The only thing that could be worse for it is that the whole thing was set on fire, but then the insurance company would cover that. This is like buying a brand new vehicle again. It's devastating. The couple of days we've just had has helped, definitely, with dealing with it mentally. And this morning, now, we are going off to the garage to go and find out how much it's going to cost. I can't say I'm looking forward to this at all. And finding out what not just the cost, but the time of it. Now, this is our home. It's not like get a rental vehicle and everything's okay. It's like, where do we stay? Currently at Janine's parents' house, they have their own lives. They've got their own plans for Christmas. Same with my parents as well, my family. We're very lucky to have been able to spend a couple of days here. They've been very accommodating, but the situation isn't ideal moving forward. So there's a lot of factors involved in it. So we're just gonna go to the garage now and find out what it is.
We headed off to the garage to find out the fate of Morgan and to get an idea of the cost, something we are dreading.
Come all you young rounders, and a story I'll tell.
There's Morgan, and that's where we left him for the last couple of days because of one thing and another. And now we're about to go and find out what the crack is, and I'm nervous.
Too soon you will go way up on the hill.
I guess what's the crack with it? The initial bit is you sent through on. You said it was £3,000 plus 3,100 for the reconditioned engine.
Yeah.
And
plus
then,
all the ancillary parts that obviously, like I say, that you have to replace as a process of doing it. Obviously, the biggest one is the oil cooler, and it's the one that's the one that failed.
The one that caused all of the hassle.
Damage, yeah.
So the oil cooler broke and it spilt.
It's literally just pouring it out. So as fast as you're pouring it in, it's just pumped straight out because obviously the oil cooler is the first link straight from oil pump. So it goes there, oil cooler, filter, and then rest around it.
Right.
Rest of engine.
Yeah.
So of course, if it's coming out at that point, then the engine is starved with oil.
Yeah.
Hence the seized engine.
Yeah.
Hence the reason why it stopped suddenly. Yeah.
Right. So explodes everywhere. It damages everything, and everything has to be replaced.
Yes.
So reconditioned engine was 3,100, and then the parts on top of that.
Yeah.
So I've just seen Chris there, and the bad news is the cost. We thought we had the bad news, but there's worse news, and the cost is a lot more than what I thought it would be. I could break it all down for you, but I'm not going to. But you've got a reconditioned engine and all the auxiliary parts that go with it, oil cooler and all the rest of it, plus VAT, plus labour. We're looking at the best part of £6,000–7,000. So it's a lot of money, and he needs the money for the engine today. So bugger is all I can say. Yeah, there's just no, we're gonna have to work out. It's more than what we expected it to be. because I did some research on reconditioned engines and stuff, and reconditioned engines can be anywhere between sort of £1,800, £2,000, £3,000, but there's all sorts of stuff that needs to go on in there. The only thing, if we can get the money for it, the only thing that makes it all worthwhile in the end, if we could, once we stop crying about everything that's happening, is that it'll be like having a brand new vehicle with 0 mileage on it. It'll be the most trusted, without buying a new camper van, it'll be like buying a new camper van. With this means that we'll be really confident with the engine at great cost. It's all been a great cost. It's been the most expensive year, but once it's all done, and we'll be able to drive away with a brand new vehicle. Pretty much it'll feel like a brand new vehicle, and that's something else. Have that trust that you only get with a brand new vehicle, actually buying a brand new vehicle. So yeah, that's where we're at. Either way, we've got to leave it with time. I think it's gonna seriously mess our Christmas plans up, which seems quite insignificant really when you think about how much we're paying for it. But there's a chance, he said, that it might be done before Christmas, and we might have it before Christmas, which would be like a sort of silver lining, I guess, to be able to have it. So anyway, what we're going to do now is empty the van, and leave Morgan here with these guys, and see how we go.
When the sun comes up, I'll be far away. I never cared about what they say. I always keep on moving on. I left you behind to live my life.
Okay, so we've just packed our bags. Packed quite a few bags for some reason. We've got a lot of stuff. And we are gonna shoot off now. Yeah, it's pretty weird leaving your home. It's quite sad actually, especially knowing that you might not be able to come back before Christmas, but who knows. Yeah, sad times.
I got up on an early Sunday morning to say goodbye.
Okay, so that is it. Just to clear up a few things before we go. We are going ahead. We're giving a green light to Morgan having a new engine and ancillary parts. It's a big job. It's going to take a while probably. Yeah, just going to have to accept it. It's a lot of money, but just going to have to accept it. Just so you know, I have rung round different garages, and the common thing that they replied back to is we're too busy. This side of Christmas, coming very, very close to Christmas, and in the new year is a very busy time apparently for garages. So we feel very fortunate that we actually landed upon one that's actually got a bit of space to do it, even though it's a big job and it might take a little while. So there is that. The other one is the engine. I know a lot of you have said don't just take the first price that you get. I didn't. I did say to our man, can we source our own engine? And he said, of course you can, but just so you know, if something goes wrong with that engine, the warranty is with the people that supply the engine. This guy's got his own suppliers. He said that he's used them many, many times, and they've got a good relationship, and touch wood, no, there's been no problems. So I did ring around. I found some a little bit cheaper. They were on the other side of the country to where the van's getting fixed, and I obviously did Google reviews and stuff, and it's not clear cut. And we just personally, Ginny and I, if we're going to do this, it's a big investment. We don't want to sort of have Morgan completely done, have a new set of wings, and then things to start going wrong because we cut corners. So we've decided to go with this guy. On the flip side of it, he seems legit. We've been to his place a couple of times now. There's different vans in there, horse boxes, motorhomes, and all sorts of stuff. So, and he seems, you know, when you can look in someone's eyes and talk to them, you never truly know, but it does seem legit. So far, we're happy with what he's been, well, we're not happy with what he's been saying, but you know what I mean. He seems quite trustworthy with what he's saying. Of course, it's a risk. Anyway, we feel like, because it's all new components, we feel like it's a good you know, the risk is limited a little bit. The other thing we want to talk about is money. Many people, since the last video, many of you guys very kindly have offered to or want to donate money towards what's happening with us. And firstly, Janine and I want to say big thank you for that. It's a very, very nice thing to do. It's very kind-hearted. We are content creators. We are just putting a sort of a camera on our lives, and to have so many people feel like they know us enough to be able to do that is really heartwarming. So thank you. Even as a gesture, thank you so much. One thing I want to say to that is we're not ungrateful in the slightest for that offer. But I've seen recently a lot of homeless people. The temperatures have dropped massively. You've all seen it. And the weather out there is crazy. I think what would be better, Janine and I are going to be all right. Janine and I will be all right. We will always have a roof above our heads. We've got each other, we've got our health, and we actually have family as well. They've got their own lives. There's vulnerable people and all that sort of stuff, different stories going on there. We can't live with them forever, but we will always find a roof above our heads. There are people out on the streets right now who don't have that same privilege. So what we would say to you is, please, if you feel like donating to us, please donate to them instead. I'll leave a link or a couple of links to some homeless charities in Britain, and if you want to do that, that would be amazing. It would mean a lot to us if you want to do that rather than donating to us. Doesn't mean we're not grateful. It doesn't mean we probably need the money as well, but because it has been a dent, but we'll be all right, we will be all right. We just are very, very sort of fortunate to have family, and we're fortunate to just have each other. As I said, some people don't have that. So thank you so much for that. I really don't want to come across ungrateful, but if you do, there are people out on the streets who are sleeping through very cold conditions. If you can donate to one of those charities instead, it would mean the world to us. And that's it. We do have a video for you on Sunday, and you're going to really like it. It's very, very ironic, and we'll see you Sunday anyway, and of course we'll keep you updated. Thank you for subscribing if you like the content, and we'll see you next time.
That's crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future